Hey guys, so I just wanted to do a quick little review here of the Samsung Galaxy J5 and I just wanted to compare it actually to my S6, which I'm well acquainted with, and I wanted to also use the J5 as my main driver over the last couple of days to check out the experience, like the battery and things like that. And I have to say I'm very surprised at what Samsung have managed to do here. They've managed to bring a S6-like experience, but at an affordable price point, very accessible to the masses here. There are some compromises that you might not expect with a 2015 device, and I will cover those in this video. But I did want to start off here with what the good points are about the device. And the first thing that hit me about the J5 actually when I unboxed it is how good quality the display is here. Now we're looking at 720p display, which isn't very customizable actually like the other displays you get on the higher end Samsung devices, but to me it's remarkable how similar it looks like to the S6's display here. You can see from normal viewing distance the colors are very good. They hold very tight here from many different angles. The actual pixel density, you can only really notice a difference when you zoom in really close here. So we can try doing that here. You can see the icons really up close, and as you can see, even though you're really up close, there's barely any difference between the Quad HD on the S6 and the 720p on the J5. Obviously the bezel here is a little bit smaller on the S6, but I think that in general the display here is absolutely fantastic. I'm so glad that Samsung didn't go with like a TFT or LCD, just because it is like a little bit lower end, and that is good for prospective buyers here. Also, the other thing I've noticed is it's a very bright display. You can see if we just bump up the brightness here to the max on both of them and see how it is. So you can see already probably how bright the display is. It actually, I think, gets brighter than the S6 here. If we just confirm that. Look at that. I don't think I've seen one that bright actually. So you're getting like nearly up to 800 here, and the S6 that gets about 600 as I remember. So you can see there it's a really bright screen on the J5, and it does have this outdoor kind of viewing mode where you can put that on, and that obviously increases the outdoor visibility, which is quite nice. There is a drawback obviously with this setup, in that there's no auto brightness on the device, which I will get onto in a bit. But I wanted to say, you know, props to Samsung here for the display on this device. It's absolutely fantastic. Now the next thing that I want to praise on the Samsung Galaxy J5 is the software experience, which to me is like a carbon copy of the S6 here. You can see everything opens up very similar in terms of the apps. It's running Android 5.1.1, kind of like the S6 here. So you're getting all the benefits when it comes to like the optimizations. Everything opens up very nice and fast. It's also a very much leaner version of TouchWiz than ones that you find in the past. There are a little bits of downside with the software, in that there are some things missing, which I will touch on again in a bit, but this is a very nice lean software package here on the J5. I'm glad that they didn't like put an older version of TouchWiz on, and it is quite refreshing to see 5.1.1 out of the box here. The next thing we can talk about here is the build quality. Now some people might say that the build quality on the J5 is a bit plasticky, a bit old school, but actually using the device day to day, I've actually come to appreciate it. It's a very comfortable design, and it looks quite professional as well. If I just give it a quick little wipe here, it's got some fingerprints on it, we can see that it's got very nice look about it like it's more expensive than it actually is. Might as well wipe the S6 as well, so we don't get like a nasty grimy S6 here. So you can see when both of them are on the table here, if someone was to just look at that, they'd think, wow, he's got an S6 here, you know. And then you've got the software as well, which is like exactly the same. It's very nicely built here, and obviously it feels like it's built to last as well, because it's not going to shatter like a glass device, which is quite nice. So, you know, some people might be saying, ugh, that's plasticky, or a return to the past, but personally I think it suits the device quite well here. And this back does feel a bit more solid than I was expecting actually. It doesn't feel too flimsy like past models on the S4. So props to Samsung for building a very nice device here in general. Now, the other thing that's impressed me about the device has been the battery life. Now, we're getting a 2600 mAh in this device, and I've been trying to kill it actually as I've been using it over the past couple of days, and it just won't die. It just keeps holding up. I think it's a combination of a 720p display and quite a decent size, and also the processor, which is a Snapdragon 401, 410 should I say, Snapdragon 410, which is obviously quite an efficient processor. And if you look in the battery stats here, I've been using it quite heavy today, like doing some listen on repeat. That's the app which allows you to stream YouTube in the background. Pretty awesome really. I've been using the sat nav and things like that. And you can see if we go into the battery settings here and see the battery usage. So if we have a look at the screen on time, you can see we're getting 4 hours now with 20% remaining. So I'd anticipate that that'll probably go on to about 5 hours or so of screen on time, which is pretty good when you consider it's a smaller device here. I've got everything on syncing as well. I've got Google Now on. I've got the location set to high accuracy as well. You know, it's a really good stay. This is compared to the S6, which I really struggle with actually, and the S6 Edge. I think I'm going to struggle with the Note 5 as well. Not got the most optimism when it comes to the 3000 mAh in the Note 5. So if you want a battery stayer here, this is a fantastic device and will easily get you through 2-3 days, no problems whatsoever. Now let's move on to the less good things here with the J5. And it shares the same problem as the M4 Aqua. I don't know why Samsung chose to put only like 8 gigs internal storage, which when you consider that Lollipop takes like 5 gigs or something, it's just not good in 2015 to do that. You can see I've only got like 1 gig of available space here, and that's only just by having some apps on there. You know, I've not got any games on there actually. I wouldn't be able to put them on, and that is not good in 2015. You can probably get away with moving some apps to the SD, which I have been looking into a little bit here. So I have got a 32 gig SD in there, and I have been looking to try and move some apps to the SD. But if you can look here, so like we look at this Geek app, you can see that's already on the SD, and there's some others here, so you can see you get moved to SD there. But with some of them, like this listen on repeat, you see that's grayed out, and that's not good because it means that I can't do nothing with it. So I think definitely manufacturers need to stop putting 8 gigs internal storage, because it's not good for the future. You know, we don't know how much Android M is going to take up, and I think iPhone C users had problems with that as well. So the other things that are not quite as good really on the J5, which I did notice, was there's no auto brightness, which I was quite surprised actually, because in 2015 that's like a standard thing you'd expect. And you don't get any auto brightness. You do get this interesting outdoor mode which stays on for 15 minutes, but personally I would have liked to auto brightness. Now you can download a third-party app such as Lux, and it will try and use your front-facing camera to like measure the brightness, but I don't think it's as good as like just a dedicated auto brightness sensor, so that is a bit of a bad thing there. The camera is quite good. It's probably not the best camera that I've seen actually. I'd say that it's quite average really, about the same as the Galaxy A5's camera. You know, it'll do the job. But I think the thing that I found that's a bit annoying is that because this isn't very recessed, I keep getting it smudgy, and I keep getting like some smudgy photos coming out of the device, so I have to keep cleaning it before I use it, and that kind of defeats the object of having this fast launch. And I'm assuming the Galaxy A7 will have the same issue. So the camera's decent, but not obviously nowhere near the S6's quality. And the other thing is the speaker. The speaker's not very good. If I'm to be honest, it doesn't get very loud. I don't know if I have something here. Maybe I do have something to quickly test that. So we can see if Sony's correct about these devices. You can see we don't have any flaps here on the Z3 Plus on the bottom, so a bit of a leap of faith here. Same goes for the M4 Aqua here. You can see we don't have any flaps here on the Z3 Plus on the bottom, so a bit of a leap of faith here. Same goes for the M4 Aqua here. So no flaps whatsoever. But we can just test this out here and dunk them in some water. Nice and quick. 3, 2, 1. So you can see here, you know, I think that this little thing is lying here, to be honest, because I was expecting the S6 to score higher there, and I can definitely hear it better compared to the J5 sound, which sounds a bit weak and timid. So if you're looking for a speakerphone, you know, this is a bit weak really to conclude there. And finally, the last thing, which I would say a little bit annoying, is that there's some missing software features on the J5 here, like no HDR mode. Also, for some reason I can't seem to see the Samsung Music Player. There's no Flipboard integration on the left as well, and some other things like, you know, your motion controls that you are going to get with the higher end models, somewhere buried here within the settings. Some people might like that, saying that it's a more cleaner device, but then again, you know, at the end of the day, I'd have liked if they could have migrated some of these settings in there. I don't think there's any S-Voice as well, and S-Health, so do bear that in mind if you are looking to like upgrade from a Samsung device which does have those things. But other than that, you know, I am very impressed here with the Galaxy J5, so much so that I might get the J7 in soon as well. I think it's definitely a fantastic little phone here, lower to mid-range category. Don't be put off by the 1.5 gigs of memory or RAM. It runs like butter most of the time, as well as the Snapdragon 410. That's the same as the new Moto G. The screen's absolutely fantastic. That's the highlight of the device, I think. And the battery life as well is also very good. Just make sure you invest in a high capacity micro SD if you are going to get it. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this little video here checking out the Galaxy J5, and if you did, don't forget to leave a like, and I will see you in the next one. Cheers.